In the heart of World War II, a clash of titans was inevitable. On one side, the legendary American general George S. Patton, a commander whose aggressive tactics and relentless drive redefined modern warfare. On the other, a steel beast that terrorized Allied forces across Europe, the German Tiger tank. This is the story of how Patton's audacity and strategic genius met the brute force of Germany. As most feared weapon, the year is 1943. As the Allies push into Europe, they face increasingly stiff resistance. German engineering has produced a marvel of destruction: the Panzerkampfwagen Tiger, weighing nearly 60 tons. Its 88mm gun could tear through Allied armor from over a mile away, while its own thick hide was nearly impervious to their return fire. For the average Allied tanker, an encounter with a Tiger was often a death sentence. The psychological impact was immense. The mere rumor of a Tiger in the area was enough to halt an advance. Enter General Patton, leading the U.S. Third Army. Patton was a man who believed in momentum above all else. His philosophy was simple: attack, attack, and attack again. He despised static warfare and understood that hesitation was the enemy's greatest ally. When his forces began reporting heavy losses and stalled advances due to the Tiger, Patton didn't flinch. He saw the Tiger not as an unstoppable monster, but as a tactical problem to be solved. Patton's strategy wasn't about building a bigger tank. There was no time for that. It was about leveraging his own strengths, speed, numbers, and combined arms. He famously quipped, "Fixed fortifications are monuments to the stupidity of man." To him, the Tiger's strength was also its weakness. It was heavy, slow, mechanically unreliable, and a gas guzzler. While one Tiger could dominate a small engagement, it couldn't be everywhere at once. Patton drilled his men to adopt new tactics. Instead of engaging a Tiger head-on, a futile endeavor for most Sherman tanks, they were taught to use their superior numbers and agility. The plan was a deadly dance. One or two Shermans would act as bait, drawing the Tiger's attention and fire. Its slow turret traverse was a critical vulnerability. While the Tiger was focused on the bait, other Shermans would race around its flanks or rear, where its armor was thinnest. It was a high-risk, high-reward strategy that required immense courage and coordination. But tanks alone weren't the answer. Patton was a master of combined arms warfare. He integrated his forces like no other. If his tankers located a Tiger, they would call in air support. AP-47 Thunderbolt, armed with rockets and 50-caliber machine guns, could cripple a Tiger from above, attacking its vulnerable engine deck. Artillery was another key component. A well-placed barrage could disable a Tiger's tracks, immobilizing it and making it a sitting duck for infantry armed with bazookas or demolition charges. Patton's doctrine was clear: use every tool at your disposal. Don't fight the enemy's war, make him fight yours. One of the most famous encounters occurred during the Battle of the Bulge. The German offensive relied heavily on its elite panzer divisions, including Tiger and King Tiger tanks, as they punched through the American lines. It was Patton's Third Army that was called to relieve the besieged city of Bastogne. In a logistical masterpiece, Patton wheeled his entire army 90 degrees and marched them over 100 miles in brutal winter conditions. During this frantic race, his forces repeatedly clashed with German armor. In the fields and forests of the Ardennes, Patton's tactics were put to the ultimate test. Small, mobile tank destroyer units, like the M18 Hellcat, would lie in ambush. They would wait for a Tiger to pass, then burst from cover, fire into its weaker side armor at point-blank range, and speed away before the rest of the German column could react. It was a deadly game of cat and mouse, played out in the snow-covered landscape. After the Battle of the Bulge, as the Third Army drove into Germany itself, the encounters continued. In one notable action near the town of Aricourt in France, Patton's 4th Armored Division, despite being outnumbered and outgunned in individual tank quality, decisively defeated a German panzer brigade equipped with the newer Panther tanks and some Tigers. They used fog and terrain to their advantage, executing textbook flanking maneuvers and proving that superior tactics and training could overcome superior technology. The aftermath of these battles tells a compelling story. While the Tiger was a formidable weapon, it was never a war-winning one. Germany simply couldn't produce them in sufficient numbers. For every one Tiger produced, the United States was churning out dozens of Shermans. Patton understood this war of attrition. He was willing to trade his more numerous, though individually weaker, tanks to eliminate Germany's prized assets. The cost was high, but the strategy was effective. In the end, the duel between Patton and the Tiger was a microcosm of the entire war. It was a contest between quality and quantity, between brute force and tactical flexibility. The Tiger tank remains a legend of engineering and firepower, a symbol of German military might. But it was General Patton's relentless drive, his innovative use of combined arms, and the sheer bravery of his soldiers that ultimately neutralized this steel beast. His forces didn't just fight the Tiger, they outthought it, outmaneuvered it, and ultimately outlasted it on the long road to victory. The legacy of this clash is etched into military doctrine to this day. It serves as a timeless reminder that no weapon, however powerful, is invincible. It teaches us that victory often belongs not to the one with the strongest sword, but to the one who wields it with the greatest skill, courage, and ingenuity. Thank you for watching. If you found this story of military history fascinating, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the past. We'll see you in the next one.